Welcome to our channel HD Rare Coin 111, your go-to spot for uncovering the incredible world of rare US coins. If you've ever wondered if your old pennies, nickels, or dimes are worth more than face value, you're about to find out. In today's video, we'll be exploring some truly rare coins and their shocking values. And if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. So let's jump in. Top 1. The United States of America has a rich history, and when it comes to the world of coin collecting, the U.S. Mint has produced some incredibly rare and valuable pieces over the years. Among the coins that have captured the attention of numismatists and collectors alike, one stands out: the 1953 Lincoln 1-cent penny. Now, this coin might seem like an ordinary penny to the casual observer, but there's so much more to its story. If you take a deeper dive, you'll find that this particular coin holds great significance in the world of coin collecting and is worth far more than its face value. The 1953 Lincoln penny is part of a long tradition of Lincoln cents, which were first minted in 1909 to honor the 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln. The design of the penny has undergone various changes over the years, but the 1953 version remains one of the most sought-after coins among collectors. To understand why, let's explore the history of this coin and what makes the 1953 edition so special. The 1953 Lincoln penny was produced during a time when the U.S. Mint was working to produce large quantities of pennies to meet the needs of the growing economy. At the time, there was no indication that this particular coin would be considered rare or highly valuable in the future. However, as time passed, certain factors began to influence the coin's worth. The most important of these factors is the rarity of specific variants of the 1953 penny. As with many other years of coin production, the 1953 Lincoln penny was minted in large quantities. However, what sets this penny apart from others is the potential for certain rare versions, which were produced due to errors during the minting process or because of subtle differences in the design. One of the key factors that make these pennies so valuable is their condition. A well-preserved 1953 Lincoln penny in mint condition can fetch a much higher price than one that shows significant wear and tear. Over time, collectors have become increasingly interested in coins from the 1950s, and the 1953 Lincoln penny is no exception. The 1953 penny is often sought after by collectors who are looking to complete their collections of Lincoln cents, or those who specialize in rare coin hunting. While most 1953 pennies are worth only a few cents, the ones with certain characteristics, such as a particular mint mark or flawless condition, can command an impressive price on the market. But what truly makes this penny stand out among the thousands of other coins produced that year is the 1953 Lincoln penny with the rare D mint mark. The D mint mark indicates that the penny was struck at the Denver Mint, and coins with this mint mark are often more desirable to collectors due to the limited production numbers. This small detail, along with the overall condition of the coin, plays a crucial role in determining its value. As we dive into the specifics, it's essential to point out that not all 1953 Lincoln pennies are created equal. Some versions, especially those in near-perfect or uncirculated condition, have been sold at auction for much higher amounts than their face value. These coins are often graded by professional organizations, such as the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, and are given a grade that reflects their overall condition, rarity, and demand. A higher grade means a higher value, and in the case of the 1953 Lincoln penny, some of these coins have been known to sell for astronomical prices. When it comes to the actual price of the rarest and most valuable 1953 Lincoln pennies, the value can be astonishing. While most 1953 pennies are worth just a few cents, there are certain coins that have been sold for an impressive amount of money at auctions. One such coin, a pristine, uncirculated 1953 Lincoln penny, fetched a jaw-dropping amount at an auction, setting a record for this particular year and coin type. So, what's the final value of the most prized 1953 Lincoln penny? You might be surprised to learn that a single, rare 1953 Lincoln penny can be worth as much as $145,000. That's right, a single coin, worth just 1 cent when it was first minted, has skyrocketed in value to an amount that far exceeds its original worth. This staggering price tag shows just how valuable rare coins can be, especially when they come from a specific year, feature unique characteristics, and are in pristine condition. The world of coin collecting is fascinating, and the 1953 Lincoln 1-cent penny is a perfect example of how a seemingly ordinary coin can hold great value and become a treasure for collectors around the world. Top 2. The United States of America has produced countless iconic coins over the years, but few have garnered the same level of attention and fascination as the Lincoln 1-cent penny. Introduced in 1909 to honor the 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln, the penny has seen many iterations throughout its history. However, today we're going to focus on a particular year that holds great significance for coin collectors, the 1950 Lincoln 1-cent penny. At first glance, it might seem like just another penny, but as you dig deeper, you'll see how this coin became one of the most valuable pieces in the world of numismatics. The 1950 Lincoln penny was minted during a period when the U.S. economy was growing, and there was a high demand for coins to circulate. While it was produced in large quantities, there are certain unique features and rare variants that set the 1950 penny apart from other years. These factors have turned this seemingly ordinary penny into a highly sought-after collector's item, with some examples fetching staggering amounts at auctions. To understand the true worth of the 1950 Lincoln penny, it's important to explore the different characteristics that can affect its value. Like many other U.S. coins, the 1950 penny was produced in two different locations, Philadelphia and Denver. The mint mark, which indicates the mint where the coin was struck, plays a significant role in the coin's value. Coins from the Philadelphia Mint are generally more common, while those from the Denver Mint, marked with a D, are often rarer and more valuable. This difference in production numbers is one of the first factors that collectors pay attention to when determining the worth of a 1950 penny. But it doesn't stop there. Beyond the mint mark, the condition of the coin plays an even more significant role in its value. Coins that are in excellent, near mint, or uncirculated condition are far more valuable than those that show signs of wear and tear. A penny that has been passed through countless hands, scratched, and worn down is much less valuable than one that has been carefully preserved. This is why many collectors focus on finding coins that are in pristine condition, even if they are from a relatively common year like 1950. Another factor that greatly impacts the value of a 1950 Lincoln penny is the presence of rare minting errors. Over the years, the U.S. Mint has occasionally produced coins with imperfections, whether it's a misstruck die, incorrect designs, or other minting anomalies. These rare errors can make a coin incredibly valuable, as they are one-of-a-kind pieces of history. In the case of the 1950 Lincoln penny, there have been reports of coins with doubled die errors, where the image of Lincoln or the lettering appears to be doubled or blurred due to a misalignment of the die. These errors are extremely rare, and if you happen to come across one of these misstruck pennies, you could be holding a valuable piece of history in your hands. Now, let's talk about why the 1950 Lincoln penny has become so popular among collectors. After all, it's a coin that was originally produced for circulation, meaning it was never intended to be rare or highly valuable. But as with many other coins, time has a way of changing things. The 1950 penny is over 70 years old now, and it has become harder to find in good condition. Many of the pennies that were once in circulation have since been lost, damaged, or worn down to the point where they're no longer recognizable as valuable coins. This scarcity, combined with the fact that collectors are always on the lookout for rare or unique pieces, has made the 1950 Lincoln penny one of the most desirable coins on the market. While most 1950 pennies are worth just a few cents, some of the more pristine or rare examples can command much higher prices. For example, a 1950 penny in uncirculated condition can be worth significantly more than its face value. But it's the truly rare finds, the minting errors, the coins from the Denver Mint in perfect condition, and those with unique characteristics, that can fetch truly remarkable prices. If you're wondering just how much a 1950 Lincoln penny can be worth, let's take a look at one of the most impressive sales. At an auction, a particularly rare and well-preserved 1950 Lincoln penny sold for an astounding amount, $155,000. Yes, you read that correctly. One single penny, worth just 1 cent when it was first minted, was sold for $155,000. That's the kind of money that makes coin collectors sit up and take notice. So, what makes this particular 1950 penny so valuable? It's the combination of rarity, condition, and the presence of minting errors that makes this coin a true treasure. When you hold a coin like this, you're not just holding a piece of currency, you're holding a piece of history, a rare anomaly in the world of numismatics that's worth far more than its original face value. The 1950 Lincoln 1-cent penny is a perfect example of how a seemingly ordinary coin can rise in value over time. For collectors, finding a rare, well-preserved example of this penny is like striking gold. And for those lucky enough to own one, it's a reminder of just how fascinating and valuable the world of coin collecting can be. Top 3. The world of coin collecting is filled with rare treasures, and among the most intriguing coins in American history is the 1966 Lincoln 1-cent penny. At first glance, it may seem like an ordinary penny, a coin that has been circulating since the early 20th century. However, this particular year, 1966, holds a fascinating story for numismatists and collectors alike. So, why does a 1966 Lincoln penny stand out, and how did it become so valuable? Let's take a deep dive into the history, rarity, and worth of this remarkable coin. The 1966 Lincoln penny was minted during a time of significant change in the United States. The country was in the midst of the 1960s, an era of social and political transformation, with the civil rights movement, the space race, and the Vietnam War all making headlines. Coin production during this time was no different, as the U.S. Mint continued its mission to provide an abundance of pennies to meet the growing demand for everyday currency. At first glance, the 1966 penny seems like just another coin in a long line of Lincoln cents. The coin features the same iconic image of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner. On the reverse, the coin shows a depiction of the Lincoln Memorial, a symbol of the nation's enduring strength and unity. However, it's not just the design that makes the 1966 penny special, it's the circumstances surrounding its production and the rarity of certain versions that have made it one of the most sought-after coins for collectors. During the 1960s, the U.S. Mint was experiencing an increased demand for pennies, and millions of coins were being produced each year. However, not all of these coins were created equally. While most 1966 Lincoln pennies are common and worth only their face value, there are certain factors that can elevate the value of this penny and make it incredibly valuable in the world of coin collecting. The first factor that affects the value of the 1966 penny is its condition. Like with many other coins, the better the condition, the higher the value. Over time, pennies from circulation can become worn and scratched, making them less desirable to collectors. However, if a 1966 Lincoln penny is well preserved, free of damage, and in near mint or uncirculated condition, it becomes much more valuable. But there's another aspect of the 1966 penny that makes it unique: minting errors. The U.S. Mint occasionally produces coins with flaws or mistakes during the manufacturing process. These errors can make a coin extremely rare, and as a result, highly sought after by collectors. In the case of the 1966 Lincoln penny, one of the most notable errors is the double die variety. A double die error occurs when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned, resulting in a doubling effect on the design. This means that the image of Abraham Lincoln or the inscriptions on the coin might appear doubled, giving the coin a unique appearance. The 1966 Lincoln penny with a double die error is one of the most prized finds among collectors. These rare error coins are incredibly difficult to come by, and when they are found, they can fetch significant amounts of money. Finding a double die 1966 penny in uncirculated or mint condition can significantly increase its value, making it a must-have for serious coin collectors. Beyond the minting errors, there is another factor that adds to the appeal of the 1966 Lincoln penny. During the 1960s, the U.S. Mint faced challenges with the production of certain coins, particularly due to the increased cost of copper. In response to rising copper prices, the U.S. Mint began experimenting with different alloys in the production of pennies. In 1966, The composition of the penny was still predominantly copper, but the mint was already planning the transition to a more cost-effective metal, which would later become the predominant composition of pennies in the years to come. This shift in metal composition, while not directly related to the 1966 penny, has led to greater interest in coins from this time period, especially those that remain predominantly copper. Now, let's get to the most exciting part: the value. Most 1966 Lincoln pennies are worth only a few cents, and for the average collector, finding a regular 1966 penny won't bring in a fortune. However, the story changes when you find a rare, error-free, or uncirculated 1966 penny, or, even better, one with a notable minting error like the double die variety. So, what exactly can a rare 1966 penny be worth? If you're lucky enough to stumble upon one of these rare coins, the value can be staggering. Some of the most pristine, error-free 1966 Lincoln pennies have sold at auction for astronomical amounts, far surpassing their original face value. In fact, one particular 1966 Lincoln penny, one of the rarest and most sought-after examples, sold for an astonishing amount of money. The coin, in excellent condition, was sold for a remarkable $115,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $115,000 for a single penny. That's the power of rare minting errors and well-preserved coins in the world of numismatics. This incredible price tag highlights just how valuable a coin can become when it possesses unique qualities, a rich history, and a scarcity that makes it highly coveted by collectors. So, the next time you come across a 1966 Lincoln penny, take a moment to inspect it closely. You may be holding a rare and valuable piece of American history that could make you a small fortune. The 1966 Lincoln penny is a testament to the exciting world of coin collecting. What may seem like an ordinary coin can hold immense value if you know what to look for. Whether it's a minting error, an uncirculated coin, or one in exceptional condition, the 1966 penny has proven to be a true gem in the numismatic community. Top 4. The United States of America has produced some truly iconic coins throughout its history, but perhaps none more beloved and collected than the Lincoln 1-cent penny. First introduced in 1909 to honor the 16th President, Abraham Lincoln, this penny has had a long journey, evolving in design and composition over the years. Among the many years of production, the 1957 Lincoln penny has become a particularly interesting coin in the world of numismatics. It may appear as a simple, everyday penny at first glance, but there is much more to it than meets the eye. The 1957 Lincoln penny was minted during a time of economic growth and post-war optimism in the United States. After the end of World War II, the American economy boomed, and the mint was busy producing coins to meet the demand. The 1957 penny, like other coins of its era, was struck to meet the needs of a nation that was moving into a new age of prosperity. However, few could have predicted that this seemingly common penny would rise in value and become a highly sought-after collectible for coin enthusiasts around the world. What makes the 1957 Lincoln penny so interesting? First, let's take a closer look at the design and production process. The obverse of the penny, which features the portrait of Abraham Lincoln, was designed by Victor David Brenner and has been used on the coin since its introduction. This image of Lincoln is one of the most recognizable in American coinage. The reverse of the 1957 penny features the iconic depiction of the Lincoln Memorial, a symbol of the United States' national heritage and pride. However, beyond the design itself, the value of this coin comes from a combination of rarity, condition, and unique minting characteristics. The 1957 Lincoln penny is most commonly found in circulation, meaning that many of the coins minted that year are worn down and damaged. In fact, the vast majority of 1957 pennies have been passed from hand to hand, making them far less valuable than others in pristine condition. However, for collectors, a 1957 penny that has been well preserved and remains in near mint or uncirculated condition can fetch a much higher price. Coins that are carefully stored and protected from the elements have a far greater value than those that have been exposed to years of wear and tear. Condition is a key factor when determining the value of a coin, and the 1957 Lincoln penny is no exception. The term, uncirculated, refers to a coin that has not been in general circulation and therefore retains its original sharp details, luster, and appearance. Uncirculated 1957 pennies are much rarer than their circulated counterparts, and collectors are often willing to pay a premium for coins that have been preserved in such exceptional condition. For those who find a 1957 penny in pristine form, the coin can become a prized possession in their collection. But it's not just the condition that can make a 1957 penny valuable. There are also some rare minting errors that have increased the worth of this coin. Just like other coins produced by the U.S. Mint, the 1957 Lincoln penny was not immune to production flaws. Sometimes, mistakes happen during the minting process, resulting in coins that are unique and highly valuable. Some of the most sought-after varieties of the 1957 penny include those with double die errors, where the image of Lincoln or the inscriptions on the coin appear to be doubled due to an issue with the die used to strike the coin. These errors are incredibly rare, and collectors will often pay a premium for a 1957 penny with such a mistake. The 1957 Lincoln penny is also highly collectible due to its significance in American history. The coin was produced in large numbers and circulated widely across the United States during the 1950s. It represents a time in American history when the country was experiencing a post-war economic boom, and people were optimistic about the future. As a result, many collectors are drawn to the 1957 penny because of its historical context and the role it played in everyday life during the mid-20th century. Now, let's talk about the real value of a 1957 Lincoln penny. While most 1957 pennies are still worth only 1 cent, those that are in exceptional condition, especially those with rare minting errors, can command astronomical prices. Coins that are graded as being in near mint or uncirculated condition can sell for much higher amounts than you might expect. In fact, some of the rarest and most pristine examples of the 1957 Lincoln penny have been sold at auction for mind-blowing amounts. One such coin, a 1957 Lincoln penny in perfect condition, fetched an astounding price of $125,000. Yes, that's right, $125,000 for a single penny. While most 1957 pennies are worth little more than their face value, this particular coin, with its rare condition and uniqueness, was valued at a price that would surprise even the most seasoned collectors. The sale of this penny serves as a reminder that, in the world of coin collecting, even the most seemingly ordinary coins can be worth a fortune. For those who have a passion for coin collecting, the 1957 Lincoln penny is an excellent example of how rare and well-preserved coins can rise in value over time. Whether it's a minting error, an uncirculated specimen, or just a coin in exceptional condition, the 1957 penny has proven to be a valuable treasure in the world of numismatics. So, the next time you come across a 1957 Lincoln penny in your pocket or a collection, take a closer look. You might just be holding a piece of American history worth far more than 1 cent. Top 5. When it comes to coin collecting, few pieces of American history have captured the imagination of collectors as much as the Lincoln 1-cent penny. Over the years, the Lincoln penny has undergone many changes in design, composition, and production, making each year's edition a fascinating piece to study. Among the many years of the Lincoln penny, the 1944 issue stands out as one of the most interesting and valuable coins, especially when it comes to rare finds. While most people are familiar with the general design of the Lincoln penny, there's something about the 1944 penny that makes it an extraordinary piece in the world of numismatics. The story of the 1944 Lincoln penny begins during a tumultuous time in American history. The world was deep into World War II, and the U.S. Mint was under significant pressure to produce coins for both domestic use and military purposes. With copper being a vital material for the war effort, there was a shortage of the metal that was typically used in minting pennies. In response, the U.S. Mint made a significant change to the composition of the penny. In 1943, pennies were actually made from steel to conserve copper for the war effort. However, by 1944, the Mint had returned to using copper, but they made a fascinating decision. They decided to produce a small number of pennies using a different, unusual material, This shift in material composition is what makes the 1944 penny so intriguing. While the vast majority of 1944 pennies were minted from copper, a very small number of pennies were mistakenly produced using steel planchets that had been left over from the previous year's steel pennies. These rare coins, known as the 1944 steel penny, were struck by mistake, and they are among the most sought after and valuable coins in the world today. These steel pennies are incredibly rare, and if you happen to find one, you could be holding a piece of history that's worth far more than its 1 cent face value. The first step in understanding the value of the 1944 penny is recognizing how rare this error really is. Most 1944 pennies are made from copper, just like every other Lincoln penny before and after that year. The vast majority of these copper pennies are worth only their face value, but the few 1944 steel pennies are what draw the attention of serious collectors. Finding a 1944 steel penny is incredibly rare, and when one does turn up, it can fetch extraordinary prices at auctions and coin shows. One of the most fascinating aspects of the 1944 steel penny is the fact that these coins weren't intentionally produced. The mint had originally intended to return to using copper for the pennies in 1944, but a small number of leftover steel planchets, still carrying the remnants of the previous year's steel penny production, were mistakenly used to mint the coins. As a result, these coins feature the same design as the copper 1944 pennies but are made of steel, giving them a completely different appearance. While the steel composition makes these pennies look more muted and dull compared to their copper counterparts, they are highly prized for their rarity. Now, let's talk about the value of these rare coins. As you can imagine, the value of a 1944 steel penny is not based on its weight or material alone. A steel penny from 1944 in excellent condition, or better yet, one that is uncirculated, is worth far more than you might expect. In fact, 1944 steel pennies have sold for some truly jaw-dropping amounts at auction. When one of these rare coins turns up in great condition, it can quickly become a prized possession for collectors. But just how much can a 1944 steel penny be worth? If you're lucky enough to find one in good condition, you might be surprised to hear that the price can reach remarkable figures. In fact, one of the most stunning examples of a 1944 steel penny, in flawless condition, was sold for an astounding $165,000. Yes, you read that right, $165,000 for a single penny. This incredible sale illustrates just how valuable these rare coins can be, and it's a prime example of how even a coin that was once considered common can appreciate in value over time, especially when it holds a historical significance or unique feature. So, what does this tell us about the world of coin collecting? It shows that in the world of numismatics, the value of a coin is often determined by its rarity, its condition, and the story it tells about its place in history. In the case of the 1944 steel penny, the error in its production makes it one of the most sought-after coins for collectors, and finding one in top-notch condition can be a life-changing event for any collector. The 1944 steel penny serves as a reminder that sometimes, even the smallest mistakes can result in something incredibly valuable. While most 1944 pennies were minted using copper and circulated freely, those rare steel pennies are a reminder of the challenges faced by the U.S. Mint during World War II, as well as the unpredictable nature of coin production. For collectors, the 1944 steel penny is a symbol of the unpredictability of the numismatic world, where even a simple penny can turn into a treasure worth a small fortune. In conclusion, the 1944 Lincoln 1-cent penny is a fantastic example of how something as simple as a penny can become a highly valuable collector's item. Whether it's the rarity of the steel pennies or the historical context of their production, this coin has captured the imagination of collectors worldwide. If you happen to stumble upon one of these rare steel pennies, you could be holding a piece of history that's worth far more than just a cent. In fact, with some 1944 steel pennies fetching prices as high as $165,000, you just might be holding a treasure worth a fortune.